So we are here with Erica Douglas at South by Southwest, and she is the author of Erica.biz and also the founder of Inspiring Innovators, a new business that she's launching. And Erica, thanks for joining us today on 100 Interviews.
Thanks, Morgan.
So you write a lot about entrepreneurship and achieving business success. Can you tell us a little bit about Erica.biz and what people can find there first?
Sure. Well, after I sold my business in September 2007, I received a lot of requests, how did you run a successful business? What did you do? What were the tips that you have to offer? So I bought the domain Erica.biz, and I already had a personal blog, but I went ahead and moved all the posts over to Erica.biz and relaunched it as not just a lot of posts about me and my cat, but a lot of posts about business success and entrepreneurship. And I really try to go in depth, and every week I try to answer questions that my audience has sent me. Things like, how do I start a business during a recession? How do I start a business with no money? How do I make $1 million? Things like that. Every question that people ask me, I try to answer online in a blog post.
Very cool. So, very topical for right now. Obviously, we're going through a really hard time.
Absolutely.
And, people are turning to entrepreneurship to try to maybe if they lost a corporate job, maybe now's the time that they want to start something up. What are some of your pieces of advice for aspiring entrepreneurs in a tough economy about starting a business?
I think a lot of people in a recession tend to hunker down, and they try to think about how they could just scrape by from day to day. And I would encourage anyone who's listening who is a successful or who aspires to be a successful entrepreneur to think really big. When I started my web hosting company when I was 20 years old, I really didn't have any big plans for it. I just wanted to pay my cable modem bill every month, but it did become $1 million business. So, thinking big from the beginning allows you more interesting opportunities than thinking small from the beginning. It also allows you to take on larger customers and have the confidence to pitch yourself to larger companies and companies that are making money right now and have the money to afford to pay you.
Very cool. So one of the things that you're starting is Inspiring Innovators. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. My new website, Inspiring Innovators, is a monthly membership site, and basically what we do every month is we go really in-depth. We talk with a successful entrepreneur who's used the internet to bootstrap their business. It's always somebody who's started from basically nothing and who has launched their business to a really high level of success. So we go in-depth with that entrepreneur, and then I go in-depth and write a long PDF about how you can do that with your business and how you can use the tips that this entrepreneur has used to grow your business online. And I'm really looking for customers who are ready to start a business, but they're not quite sure exactly how to use online methods to grow their business. For instance, you have a Twitter account, but how do you make your Twitter account actually get you customers? And you have a blog, but how do you get customers to come in, read your blog, and then subscribe or buy your product?
Definitely, and I think, as an entrepreneur, when you're trying to, in a tough economy, or anytime you're an entrepreneur, you're trying to make your money go further. And social media tools are free, which is the best part, but you just have to know how to use them. So can you talk maybe about some of the more common or some of the more interesting uses of social media that you think entrepreneurs should look at?
I like a lot of different stuff about social media, but actually one of my favorite things that I keep coming back to is just simple search engine optimization. I know it's not as cool as Twitter or Facebook or something like that, but simple search engine optimization, going to the Google keyword tool, finding out what people are searching for. And by the way, if you go to that, just go to Google and type in Google keyword tool. It'll tell you what people are searching for on Google. You type in a couple of keywords. My favorite keywords are like how to or business, very generic. Sort by what people are searching for and pick a couple of keywords. Write that as the title of your blog post. And if you're pretty good at this, and there's a couple tricks, but if you're pretty good at this, you can get #1 in the Google results, and then you're considered an authority for that particular search result. For instance, if you search on Google, start a business with no money, I'm ranked #1 and #2 on Google for that search term. So now Google looks at me and considers me an authority on that. You can do it too. Anybody can do it. It's easy and it's fun, and it's a great way to get customers and prospects into your website or your blog.
Very cool. So obviously we're at South by Southwest, and I think we're on day 4 now of Interactive. So what have you found to be the most value out of this conference, and what are you checking out?
My favorite thing at South by Southwest is actually just going into the Bloggers Lounge and hanging out with people, because it seems like it's interesting, the Bloggers Lounge tends to pack a lot of influencers into a very small space. So you can meet people who have 25,000 Twitter followers, or you can meet people who have a large blog, and you can ask them questions. It's like this hugely valuable resource, and you can say, well, okay, I want to use Twitter to promote my business, and I know that this person is doing that very well, so, you know, just go up to them and ask, how do I, you know, I see that you're awesome at doing this, and give them the ego boost, right? How do I do the same thing?
Very cool, awesome. So I love your thought about dreaming big. Any one other tip for aspiring or entrepreneurs that want to get started right now?
I think knowing what customers want is critically important. There's always going to be the case of what you want to build, right? You want to build a web application that allows people who have dogs that are brown to connect with each other, right? Sure. But how does that relate to what people out there in the world are looking for? So my advice would be just start talking to people, and you'll see in their face, if you watch their facial reactions and you kind of say, I want to start a social media site for people with brown dogs, and they go, okay. Right. You know their facial expression.
Testing, right.
Yes, this is market testing right here. The initial facial reaction tells you exactly what you need to know about your product. You'll know you've got it when people say, where can I sign up, or how do I buy that, or where can I get more information about that, or even just tell me more. Right. So get your product pitched to the point where you can, in one sentence or two sentences, get people to say, tell me more about that, or how do I buy that product?
Very cool. Well, Erica, thanks for sharing all your insights with us. And you guys can find her at Erica.biz on the web and Erica.biz on Twitter.
Thank you.
Thanks.